I genuinely believe that Wuthering Waves is one of the best gacha games on the market right now, if not the best. And I'm not saying that for the reasons you might think. I'm not talking about the story or the characters or even the combat. I'm talking about the people behind it. I'm talking about the developers, the story writers, the character designers, and everybody that has a role in the process of making this game. Let's be honest, when the game first came out, it wasn't that great. The story was kind of all over the place, the pacing wasn't that great, some things got cut, and worst of all, the gameplay, it was buggy and laggy, so overall, just a bad experience. But in the time since the launch till now, they've done so much to improve this game, and I want to really focus in on the word improve because it's very important to why I love this game so much. The devs for Wuthering Waves always looks for ways to evolve their game, whether it's the story, the combat, or even the characters. They always find a way to improve. Like, just when I think the game can't get better, they always manage to exceed my expectations. Time after time, they always manage to do better. Especially when it comes to gacha games or live service games, improvement is always better. Especially for us, the consumers, even if it's something that you can't see or if it's like little details that probably won't be noticed, it's there and it shows effort, and this is what I love to see in video games, when they always try their best to be better than they were before. Of course, I'm not saying that Wuthering Waves is the best gacha game of all time and that there's no other game that can beat it. No, I'm not trying to say that. But as of right now, I don't think there's really any other gacha games out there that could really compare to Kuro when it comes to improvement. In just 2 years time, Kuro has done so much for the game. The story is better, the character designs look amazing along with their animations. Even the combat, they've updated it every now and then, like with the most recent update with the tomb break mechanics. We can all agree that the story, the combat, and the characters are very important when it comes to gacha games like this. But another thing that is extremely important for open world gacha games like Wuthering Waves is the exploration. I think you guys can kind of guess what I'm about to say next, but I think they've done a wonderful job at updating the exploration all the way from Jinzhou to Lahai-roi. Every new major update that they've done in the game, they've always added something new for the exploration. For example, in Jinzhou, we didn't have much. Like, you could walk around or sprint around really fast, walk, run up a mountain or something like that, and then like zip line around. And of course there's gliding and then the occasional echo motorcycle riding. But in like 2.0, they've added the wings in the Renacita area where now you don't have to climb mountains or wall run up them. You could just straight up fly anywhere you want to be, and that is really cool, and I really love that about them. And they took it a step further by adding in the bikes, which I think were partially inspired by the Inferno Rider Echo, but that's besides the point. The bikes were pretty cool. You could pretty much ride around anywhere, double jump, you know, the works. And then they're like, you know what? We can do better. So in 3.1, they added this feature where you could ride on water now. And that just opened the map to even more possibilities of just riding around wherever you want. And then in 3.3, they're like, you know what? Riding around water is not enough. We need more. So now you could pretty much just do everything on the bike. Fly around, ride on water, you know, zoom through the speeding lanes and stuff like that. Well, the point is, the bike is like a microcosm of Wuthering Waves as a game, you know? Whereas they always improve when they don't need to. It was a bike. There was no need for us to fly around. That was just a little extra, here you go, because it's cool. It makes exploration easier, and I really appreciate that. And they do that for the entire game. The bike is basically just a prime example of what I mean by improvement when it comes to Wuthering Waves. They always do things that they don't have to. That if we didn't have, it would have been okay. Like, we wouldn't have really thought about it, but they still do it anyways, and I love that. And it's not just like the big things that they do, it's also the little things. Like, for example, the UI changes. They didn't really have to change it, in my opinion. I would have been fine if they just stuck with the old character thing, but they did. And it's not just that, but it's also things like a language. For example, they created a whole language alphabet system for Lahai-roi, where you can actually find it and then translate things that were written on the game, like on the bikes or the map or whatever you're able to find it at. And I didn't know this originally because I never paid attention. I would have never known. So shout out to Crow. Thank you for, telling me this. And apparently it's not just Lahai-roi. I just remembered that it's also in other areas of the game as well. But anyways, my point is that it's not just the big things that they make better, it's also the smaller things, the small little details that you might never notice if someone didn't point it out to you. So yeah, that's why I love them so much. I will say Kuro aren't the only ones trying to improve right now. For example, the Hoyo games, specifically HSR, has really caught my attention. In the next update for HSR, they're gonna add these things called synergized ults, where if two characters on your team synergize well, or if two characters that you have a synergy, their ult animation will actually change and they'll do like a dual ult thing, which I think is wonderful. I love that HSR is updating their combat system after all this time. I love it so much. It's such a wonderful idea that only HSR I feel like could really do, because it's like a turn-based thing, so it's not really like interrupting anything, versus if you're fighting in like Genshin or Wuthering Waves, that's just not very possible. I mean, it is possible, they'll just have to find a way to do it well. But I think that's such a great thing that HSR has done. And it's not just their combat, but their animations as well. Oh my goodness, especially for the newer characters like Silverwolf SP, or oh my god, the new Himiko looks so amazing with her like summoning the giant robot and then you like teleporting everybody inside of it and then just like doing its attacks. Holy moly, I am a big fan of Super Sentai and Power Rangers, whatever one you want to refer to it as, so this is really amazing for me. And I'll be honest, it's also my bias for giant mechs speaking in me, so Himiko is a definite must pull for me and I will get her. Or like another character that I love from ZZZ, Starlight Billy. Oh my goodness, he looks amazing. I was able to get him and I love him so much. Whew. And it's also because he's like an homage or inspired by one of my favorite TV series of all time, Kamen Rider. So he is just like mwah, magnificent. I wish Wuthering Waves would do something like a Kamen Rider in like WuWa. That'd be so cool, dude. I'd be saving everything for him. But anyways, that's like, I'm getting off track. ZZ has done some improvements as well, and I'm not saying that's like the only thing ZZ has improved. That's like the only notable thing that I've seen through my lens. Of course, there's like other things that you might think has gotten really good for ZZ that I just haven't noticed. And finally, there's Genshin. Of course, there's some things that aren't great with the Genshin game right now, such as the rewards, but the characters, I feel like the characters are so good. Every one of their designs and their kits, they're always better than the last, and this is the improvement I'm talking about. Even though it's not like for the whole game, there's still something that they're working on, and even the story's gotten better, like from what I've heard, because I did go on like a hiatus. I came back for Not Cry. I played the whole thing. Shit made me cry. It was pretty sad, and you know what? They've improved. It's a lot better than what I remember they used to put out, and this is what I love to see. And this is why I'm playing Genshin again, because I do see that they're trying. Even though there are some things that they kind of fall short on, that's okay, because they are still trying, and I believe they can and will get better eventually. The reason why I say all of this is because I don't want you to think that I think Kuro are the only dev team that are improving. There are other games out there like the Hoyo games or other games like NTE that are slowly but surely making their game better day by day. So yeah, I just want you guys to be aware that I do see other games. I'm not trying to say that Kuro is the only one doing this stuff. I'm just trying to say that they are the best at it right now, and that's why at the end of the day I think they are the best gacha game on the market. And I will say, while improvement is important, another reason why I think they are great is the fact that they listen. From the way I've talked about them, I feel like I've given off the impression that I think they are the best and most perfect company in the world, and they don't make mistakes or whatever. I don't think that's true at all. I just wanted to like point that out. My point is, they're not perfect. They are still people at the end of the day, and they do make mistakes. But what I love about Kuro is the fact that they listen. They see what's wrong and then they try their best to like fix the issue. If not, they always provide some type of compensation for not kind of meeting the expectations of the community. At the end of the day, Wuthering Waves is not a perfect game. But what makes it special is the fact that it's a growing game. Kuro Games have proven over the last few years that they genuinely do care about this game and they're not really in it for the money. I mean, money is important, but as we've seen, they really do care about the game that they've built and the community behind it. And that drive to consistently evolve is why I genuinely believe that Wuthering Waves is the gold standard when it comes to gacha games. But that is it for this video. Tell me down below, what do you guys think? Do you think Kuro are the only ones that are improving at a crazy exponential speed? Do you think there's any other companies out there that are doing better than Kuro right now? Let me know down in the comments. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching all the way through. And you know, since you're here, still here, like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. And I'll see you guys. Bye.